Alright, this is the second 3D tool called Revolve. This one's super useful, and we're going to make a couple of fun objects. We've got first this donut. This is a hose connector, a fancy pot, and a snowman. So we're going to make all three of these, or all four of these, and I'm going to kind of go quick, so buckle up. Let's go. So I'm going to start a new file, new, stand apart, create, and start a sketch. So every Revolve needs two things. It needs a profile, so I'm going to draw that first. And this is going to be 1.5, I think. Let me check that. It is. And it also needs something to follow around, to revolve around for its axis of symmetry. So I can either use an existing axis that's here in the origin, or I can draw one if I need to make an artificial one. And the axis, it doesn't matter how long it is or even the angle so much. If I'm making this donut, actually making a vertical is probably best. I'll go from here to here, and I'm going to make this 1.5 as well from the center mark. I'll hit Finish Sketch, and then Revolve is right next to Extrude. I'll click that one, and then it's going to ask me what is my axis, and in this case it's this line I drew right here. I click there, boom. I can revolve this all the way around. I can also do partial revolves by like 180 degrees. In this case I want to do the full, so I'll just click that one, and I can click OK. It was that easy. So we made ourselves a donut. Just for kicks, I'm going to make this look like a bagel. Kind of cool. Anyway, there you go. So you can find the volume on there. Right-click on the part, properties, physical, update, and the correct answer will show up in there. Awesome. So let's go on to the next one. So File, New, Part, Create. And this is going to be this really tiny pipe connector, and I'm going to show you some cool features that, a little extra credit here, that we can use the mirror tool to make this easier. What I'm going to do is just draw this little section right here. I'm going to revolve it and then do a mirror across that plane. So let's see, the overall size here is 0.15, and it's 0.5 in that direction. So I'm going to start a sketch, use this surface or this plane, and I'm going to use my 2-point rectangle and make it 0.5 by 0.15. So it's teeny tiny. And then I'm just going to add in some geometry, some lines to make this look approximate. I'm kind of just guessing right now. To kind of make it look similar. So that's probably fairly close. If I look back at here, it looks like each of these is 0.05. So I'm going to add that dimension in. From here to here is 0.05. From here to here is also 0.05. Cool. From this to that, 0.05. This one here in the middle is 0.2. Oh, that's 5. And then I think it's also 0.05 from this area, 0.05. Enter. Awesome. So I've got this cool profile, and most of the dimensions are 0.05, and then the larger ones are 0.2, 0.5, and 0.15. And then I can hit Finish Sketch. To revolve, and I want to select only this part of the profile. I don't want the whole thing. If I accidentally click areas that I don't want, I can always hit the Shift key, or hold the Shift key, and point there, or click where I don't want it, and that will deselect it. So let's go to the Select Axis right here, and then I'm going to click this line, and boom, there we go. There's half of the connector. And now I can use the mirror tool. So up here is a new tool called Mirror. I click on that, It's going to ask, what do I want to mirror or reflect across the plane or surface? And I want the whole body. So I'm going to click this right here, and then it'll highlight this with yellow lines. And I'm going to define my mirror plane by clicking here, and then I'm going to click this bottom surface right here, and it will kind of give me this wireframe projection of what's going to happen. I click OK, and there it is. Beautiful. Looks good. All right, so then I can go in and find my volume and enter that. Okay, nice. So moving on to the fancy pot. So this is kind of an interesting one. It has a lot of different dimensions in here. It isn't really dimensioned correctly. This isn't the standard way to do it. It just made it a little bit easier to read. So I'm going to go through and draw this half profile right here using 3 lines and 3 arcs. So let's start a new part. Start 2D sketch right here. And I'm going to just kind of make this approximate. Down, down, and over. Let's get this to be the right size. So this one is, I believe it's 8.5 is the overall height. Double check that. It is. This line right here should be 3 inches long. And the one down here should also be 3 inches. Cool. I'm going to use my arc tool to give an approximate drawing of, actually I think I missed the, let's try that one more time. Okay, so this one, notice that it does not, I don't want to make this tangent. These edges, or these corners, are, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define where these endpoints are relative to the center line and the bottom, or the top, I guess. So this first one is already defined. The second one down here is going to be a 2.5 back and 1.5 down. So 2.5 here to here, it's 1.5. Cool. So that one is defined. That's good. Now I'm going to go to this one, which is 6 inches up, and it looks like it's 5 inches. If I add those together, it's 5 inches from the center mark, or the center line of symmetry axis. That thing. I'm going to click here, there, and then make this 5. And from here to here is supposed to be 6. Awesome. So I think that actually defines those perfectly. So I've got all those where I need them. Now I need to make these arcs the right, have the right radius. So it goes 1.5, 5, and 7. So I'll use my dimension tool. Just type in 1.5, 5, and then the last one is 7. Cool. Then I hit finish, and there we go. Got this sketch fully constrained, and I can do the revolve. Got this highlighted, and I'm going to click that. There it goes. Click OK. And now I have a solid pot, a very heavy one for that reason. And now I just need to hollow it out. So to hollow this out, there's a cool tool right here called Shell. So if I click Shell, and then I click at a surface, what it'll do is it will remove that surface and then hollow everything out so that it has a thickness, a wall thickness of whatever I set right here. And that's 0.1, so 1/10 of an inch. That's the default. I'll click OK, and there it is. Looks pretty dang cool, huh? Change the appearance just for fun. It's a rusted pot, so say it's ancient or something like that. Kind of cool. Anyway, get your volume and enter that, and we are done with that one. So the last one on here is the snowman, I believe. The snowman is a little tricky. It's not too bad, but it is a little challenging. So what this is going to do is there are there's a circle here and a circle there, and they overlap a little bit, and then the hat overlaps a little bit there too, just to keep it connected. So this one says as a radius. When we draw it, we're going to use the diameter of 1.5 and the radius of 1, so 1 and 1.5. So File, New Part, Start 2D Sketch. I'm just going to do it right here in the middle because that's easy. So 1.5, enter. I'm going to do use the same axis and draw a circle that is 1 inch in diameter. Awesome. And notice that this line, or this circle, can move all over the place. I don't want that. I want this to be able to stay right above that dot. So I'm going to use my vertical constraint. Click here and there, and that will keep it lined up. So now it won't go side to side. I also need to define how far away it is. It looks like it's 1.125. So I'll go Dimension Tool, type here, or click here, and 1.125, enter. Awesome. Now there's a little bit of overlap, and that's exactly what we wanted. Alright, so now I need to worry about the hat. And the hat is 1/8 of an inch by 1 inch in width. So I'm going to go up here to my rectangle tool. I'm going to use my center point, 2-point center, and I'm going to click at the crown, so right there at the very top, and I'm going to come out 1 inch and down, or actually kind of expand in both directions with this one, 0.125, and enter. And there it is. So there's that part. I'm going to get my line tool, and I'm going to just save myself a little time, and I'm going to draw a line all the way through this. So it's my center of my axis. Come all the way up. And I'm not sure how tall it's supposed to be, so let's check. And ooh, it's a gross number, so 3.0625. So I'll go to Dimension and type in 3.0625. Just going to check that. Yep. And then click check. It's good. And I think I'm in pretty good shape. It looks like this, I missed this right here, can also move. I want to make sure that that doesn't move. So to do that, I use the vertical constraint tool again. I click its center mark, and then this center mark, and that will hold it all together. Awesome. And then this line also doesn't like it. It's moving, but I don't want it to. So use the, oh, cancel. I want this. I'm going to click here and maybe the center. There we go. Got it. So I did the midpoint of that line. Okay, so then I'm going to use my align tool up here. I'm going to come out 0.35. Then I'm going to come down here and connect. I'm not sure how far over it goes, so I'll just use this dimension to the point. So it goes 0.3, enter. Okay, so that looks a little wonky, but we're ready to go. And hit Finish Sketch. And this time, when I do my revolve, I got to be really careful about what I select and what I don't select. I only want everything on the right half of this line. So if I click up here, just kind of out in the space and drag, this is going to create a multi-selection tool so I can highlight all of that stuff at the same time. I go over here to define my axis, right there, and it should automatically sweep or revolve all the way around, and we've got them. So, Merry Christmas, we have made a snowman.